Malus Hortus is Latin and means bad garden, and that definitely fits the theme. I also really enjoyed all the story beats on the cards. It really helps the theme and immersion a lot. Hey everyone, this is Thecos, and today I will bring you my preview of Malus Hortus. This is by Atikin Games, and a huge thanks to Nikita from Atikin Games for providing me with a physical preview copy. Alright, before we get into today's video, a few disclaimers. First of all, this is a handmade and handcrafted prototype copy, right? So all the components you see here today are still subject to change. So only watch this video today for the gameplay and everything, not for like the accuracy of the final components, because that's not it. Secondly, it is summer, or not summer, but it's like spring now, and people are starting to mow their lawns even on weekdays. It's possible you hear something in the background, but I hope not. My microphone shouldn't pick that up, my new microphone, but still, if you hear anything, well, you just have to live with it, but it shouldn't be too hard. And with these disclaimers out of the way, grab yourself a cup of tea and let's do this. Ah, nice. There we go. So let me tell you how I will structure today's video. And this will be a full preview, so I will tell you a little bit about the game, about the theme. Then I will show you how the game is played. I will actually do like a little demo playthrough to show you how that works. And then I will give you like my review. Keep in mind that this is like a preview, right? So these are like my first impressions. It's not like a full-fledged review, but I will give you like the impressions of what I have experienced here. And the gameplay itself will not change too much. Only the components will. So, Malus Hortus is Latin for bad garden, and that makes sense because you wake on the cold, unforgiving ground here. Trying not to panic and taking stock, you aren't injured. Nevertheless, you can't remember where you are or why you chose to sleep here. Was it a choice to sleep here? No, that can't be. You know yourself and would have found shelter and comfort for the night. The last thing you remember is beauty, the sight and scent of such alluring flowers that you can see here. It seemed like heaven here, so inviting. You never wanted to leave, and a chill of dread takes hold as the realization dawns that maybe you never will. You remember now, as the sun started to set, the sound of roots creaking as they were ripped from the ground, and those exquisite flowers changed. But once there was wonder, instead there were cruel eyes, gnashing teeth, and lashing vines. They have been feeding on your life force. You can feel it. Your magic is drained. How could anyone fight back with such limited energy? Taking a deep breath, you know you must pull yourself together to make it out of here. Move during the day, hide away at night, and do all you can to break out of this nightmare to escape Malus Hortus. This is the story of the game. So in essence, you are playing one of 4 nymphs, and you are on your path trying to leave the garden. So all you have to do is just walk this short path and leave. But it's not as easy as it may seem here. So you see 4 paths here, right? Each path is for each player, right? So you can play this for 1 to 4 players. Each player will choose 1 path. I'm playing a solo game now. That means I'm only choosing 1 path. You can choose a free path, any that you want, but it is like that you actually have weaknesses against specific flowers, and they are like recommended paths for first-time players depending on the character you choose. These characters are slightly asymmetric. They have different weaknesses, they have different passive abilities and different active abilities. I chose to play as Pagaya the Naiad because she can heal anyone and herself, and she also gets like passive healing when getting on these health spaces here. What we see here is the game board, which is still a prototype, as I said, right? And on that board we have like the 4 paths in the garden that we are trying to escape here at the edges of the map. Then we have the flowers. They move during the night phase. We act during the day phase, and we are trying not to get in contact with the flowers, especially not on their space. But also we are trying for them not to pass us. But we will have to see. And then also we have like critters. These are like just small animals that we can aid if we have the required magic here, the required energy. Then we can aid them, and then they will also help us and travel with us, at least for a short time, until they have like done what they do. And then you also see like things here on the board. There are 3 different symbols. We have like these flower symbols. These also always denote damage. We have these energy symbols. These are like, it's just like magic energy that we can put from the inactive pool to the active pool here. And then we also, and then we also have the health icons. That just means we heal as much. Then up here, we have the cards that we are using. We have the rune cards. These are the cards that allow us to do actions, because this is a card-driven game, right? We play cards in order to do stuff. Here we have night cards. These are always like at the end of the night. These are turned over and then something happens. And then here we have critter cards. We reveal one of those as soon as we can like aid one of these critters. We also have a few dice that we need for the flowers to attack or the flowers to move. Then, and here we have our game board. Like each character has like different abilities, as I said, right? Gaia, we get passive and active healing. Also, we have weaknesses against Carnation up here and against the Orchid, which is down here, actually on our path. So this is all prototype. Also like the art, right? So there is some art on the flowers here, there, and there, for example, but these don't have arts yet, and also the critters. These will all still get art later on. This is denoted by like this prototype symbol over here. So just that you know, also same thing with the character standees. These are usually standees. I just laid them down for you, which is why they are a little bit large. Usually they would be standing up like this, but if I do that, then you can't see anything that I'm doing here. All right, and with that, we are ready to play. So let me just show you how this game is played right after I've had another sip of tea. All right, I'm ready to play when you are. In the day phase, it's the player's turn, right? And there's one of three things that we can do. Either we can take one of our rune cards. These are usually hidden, right? These are usually like your hand of cards, but I'm playing by myself. So I'll just put them here. They are a little bit light in print, right? So I hope you can see them well enough, but I will explain to you what I can do with these cards. Either we can play a runestone card from my hand, or I can discard my hand and just draw 3 new cards from the runestone deck. Or I can discard the current rockery, which is these 3 cards here, and put in 3 new cards there, right? These are the 3 things that I can do. And after I've done that, we transition to the night phase when the flowers are acting and we are trying not to get hurt too much by the flowers. These are the 3 main actions. I can choose one of them during my turn. Also, there are like a few other free actions, so to speak, like saving a critter or using the active power of the nymph. Or use the critter assistance as soon as we have a critter. I will get to that a little bit later. I will explain that during the game because we don't need that at the moment. So now I will look at the cards. I can show you one like here, for example. It might be a little bit small, but I will explain that to you. We always have an action in the top left, and we always have an action, like a movement action in the top right and the bottom right. Top left here, for example, is like one of these energy symbols here. And I always say energy, but it's like a magic token, right? That means there's one token, one symbol there. That means we take 1 magic token from the inactive pool and put it to the active pool. This is not magic that can be used. And the cool thing is, yes, I'm playing solo, so I can just use it myself. But in a multiplayer game, this is common magic for everybody, right? That means even if I, like, through my actions put magic there, magic tokens there, another player on their turn could use it. We have to discuss that, right? We all need to agree, yeah, okay, sure, use that for whatever ability you want to use, right? But that is pretty cool. It's not like everybody has their own resources. That is a pretty cool thing, right? So I would put that there. And then it says here, movement forwards 4. That means I would take my nymph and 1, 2, 3 would move 4. Then I would be here on this space. And then I would have to like do whatever it says on that space. Right? And then I discard that card and draw a new card. That's how it would look like playing a rune card. So let's see. So here with this card, I can move a flower either 6 forward or 6 backwards. Right? So I could move that one far away because flowers can move a maximum of 6. That wouldn't be too bad, but I would have to move 1 forward and gain 5 damage. I don't want to do that. Then here, I can move anybody 3 forwards and then myself 1 backwards. Or here I get, as I said, 1 magic token and move forwards 4. I don't want to do these 2 movements here because I would land on one of these damaging spaces. I don't want to do that. So I'm going to play this rune card right here. And now any nymph can move forward 3. I'm going to choose myself, of course. I'll move over here. So, and I'm not going to activate that now, that heart, because I still have to do the movement action, and that is move 1 back. So I will move one back again. And now I'm here on that space with the 2 magic tokens. So I'll just take 2 magic tokens and put them here. I still had one there from my demonstration. All right, so I hope you can kind of see on which space I am on. And that's it. Now I discard this one. I will just discard this like completely out of play. And now I'll redraw back up to 3 cards, right? So let me just see. I can either draw one from the Rockery, or I can take my chance and draw one from the Rune deck. This one isn't too bad. This one lets me heal one. This one lets me move flowers again, which is very, very helpful, by the way. And this one here is like 2 magic. I need a lot of magic this game, I think. So I will actually take this card here. I will take this one. So, and that was now my turn. Now we refresh the Rockery by drawing a new card here. Oh, this one is nice. This is a new symbol here. The 2 feet mean I just keep stay on that same position, right? I don't move, but like 3 magic tokens. That's not too bad. So now we have the night phase, and at night all the flowers are uprooted, and whenever flowers are uprooted, they will move and attack, right? So now we have a flower reference here, right? So we take a look at which flowers move first. I'm on the beige, like almost white path, which is this one now here. And the clematis, which is this flower here, will move first, and then the orchid. The other flowers will not move because there's no nymph on their path, right? So these flowers, they can move onto my path later on if I'm unlucky. They are able to do that, like with the flower card, with the night cards here. But at the moment, only these will move. Those will just stay in place. What we do is we take like 1d6 and we roll 1d6 per flower in the correct order. So for the clematis first, I will roll 1d6, and now that flower will move 5 towards my position. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It has passed me. That means I receive 1 damage. Already the first of 10 damages I need, but I can heal with my characters. That should be okay. Now we do the same for the orchid. That is a 2, 1, 2. Always in my direction. That means next night phase, this will move further in my direction, but the clematis will move back the path down to me, right? If it ever gets to the end of the path and hasn't like resolved the die fully yet, it will just continue walking backwards again. That's like how the movement of the flowers pretty much work. So very simple. And now we draw a night card, right? After all flowers have moved. So we draw a night card. Déjà vu. And these always have like these small flavor texts. A déjà vu spell has been cast. It takes hold of all nymphs in the garden. There's no way to tell who cast this enchantment, friend or foe. This could be beneficial or tragic. It all depends on your current location within the garden. Trapped by the magic, you are forced to repeat the consequences of yesterday again, whether you would want to or not. So now it says each nymph must repeat the actions of these symbols on their current space, which is really lucky because I'm on that 2 magic token space. So 2 more magic tokens in the pool. That is amazing. 4 is as many tokens as we need to save a critter. So I'm very happy with that. So I will just discard this here. Also like to let me just discard this out of the game. And that's the entire round. Now it's my turn again. Before we continue, how do we win? How do we lose? Well, I've already told you that we win by leaving the path, right? That's it. Then we have won. We lose if the entire night deck has been emptied and we are still in the garden. We also lose if our health reduces to 0. We don't want that, right? And in a multiplayer game, the same thing. If any nymph is still in the garden, when the deck is emptied, you lose. And if all nymphs have no health anymore, you also lose. All right, so let's continue. I will actually play this one here. That one gives me 2 more magic tokens. That is amazing. And also I move forward 1. Now on that heart space, that means I heal 1. I will just discard that. And then we draw a new card. Oh, there's even more magic. I don't know if I need much more, but I will just take this one. I will load up on a lot of magic tokens, and then we can like do our movement. All right, and now it's the flowers' turns. We start with the clematis again. So that's a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down here, I'm back on their starting space. I lose 1 health, and the orchid will move 3. 1, 2, 3. It's getting closer. Soon they will be like hovering around me, and that will be very, very rough because I will be losing a lot of health then. By the way, I would have gained 2 health because I'm a health adept and I always gain like 1 health more on these spaces, but my max health was only 10, so I couldn't have gained any more, but that will help in the long run for sure. Now we draw the next night card. From the ashes, a streak of flames fills the night sky, and for just a moment you think it's all over. Then you realize that what you are seeing are the flames of a phoenix. You never conceived that you would be lucky enough to see one in real life. A bright golden feather floats down to each member of your party, granting you extra magic. As you watch it fly majestically into the distance, you understand that it is probably one of the only magical beings strong enough to leave this place with such ease. This realization brings new hope. There is something out there stronger than the force of this garden. You receive 2 magic for each nymph in the garden. And you already see like some balancing here, right? If you're by yourself, you only receive 2 common magic, but everybody can use it. But if you play with 4 nymphs, for example, you will receive 8 common for everybody, right? So that's already like some balancing here. That was the second turn. Do you see how fast this goes? It's like a really quick game, and I think there's only 10 night cards here. Was it 15? I think it's 10. I think it's 10 night cards, right? We play 10 rounds, in a solo game at least. In a multiplayer game, of course, you play more rounds. Okay, it's my turn. I have so many magic tokens. I don't even need all of them, right? So I could now... let me think. If I move 4, I also get some... That's better, I think, because I need to move forward. That's very important. The thing is, we already receive 1 damage when flowers move past us, but we don't receive damage when we move past them. But they will attack us whenever they're on the same space as we are, even when I go on their space, right? So I'm going to use this one here. That one gives me 1 magic token and lets me move 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I will move right there. There's another 2 magic tokens. Okay, now I have so many magic tokens. I need 4 at least, maybe even more, depending on what we draw here, to save a critter. And that's 2, 4. Maybe I want to keep like a few just in case, so I can at least heal once or twice. That's pretty good. I will show you later how that works. So I will discard this one, and then I will draw... Which one will I draw? These are all not too great, but I need like movement. You know what? Let's draw one blindly. That one's not too bad. I can move a flower back or forth too, and I can move 3 myself. That is fine. All right, the night phase. Let's roll for the clematis first. That's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I receive 1 damage. And the orchid will move 2. It's getting closer to me, but it's not quite there yet. Okay, so this would be, of course, a little bit better to do, like when you just played without a camera, filming that, because you can just stand them up, right? And they would fit better like this. I will have to do it like this for now. All right, next night card. Distracting foliage. You thought you had found a good enough hiding spot to sleep for the night. It is not always easy in this place, and sleep comes sporadically when you are living in fear. Just as you start to drift off to sleep, you feel something moving near your leg. With a start, you pull your legs away and notice sentient tree vines all around you, trying to snare you. They appear to be working together in a targeted attack against your entire party, wherever they may be. Giving these tendrils another magical object may be the only way to distract them and your only hope of getting away safely. All players must dispose of 1 runestone card from their hand. Sure. Let me dispose of... This one is actually really good. This one... I don't need that much energy anymore. That much magic anymore. I will have to dispose of that one. Okay, so now we only have 2 cards, right? But we will be able to draw back up to 3 next round. Alright, it's my turn again. I want to move a little bit. How will I do that? I think I will do it like this. I will use this one here heals me. Healing wouldn't be too bad. Yeah, I think I will do that. So I will use this one here. I will move 1 flower back or forth 6. So I'll move this one 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 over there. And I will move myself 1 forward. I can heal 2 plus 1. So I will be able to heal 3, but I only can go up to 10. That's fine. And then I can draw back up to a full hand of cards. I will take this one here where I can move flowers and myself, and I will also get 1 from the deck here. Oh, that's a large healing card. 5 health, right? But I have to move 1 back. which can also be okay, right? Alrighty. So now it's the flowers again. We will roll for that one here first. Oh, and that one goes in our space. What that means is now the following. It will now attack us. So now we take a d4 dice. So that's a 4-sided die. And then we will receive damage. So let's roll this one. That is 1 damage. That's fine. 1 damage. And then if we have a weakness, that's 1 more damage. But we don't have a weakness here against that one, right? So we're okay. We only have a weakness against the orchid. So we will receive 2 damage. That was lucky. Oh no, 1 damage. That could have been 4 damage, right? Which is a lot. And now the orchid will move. It will move 5. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, close. It's very close, but it's still okay. All right, let's draw the night card here. That's one of the 2 flower night cards I had to shuffle in here. The rose. A noxious smell fills your nostrils. You turn to see the cause and are greeted by the sight of sharp thorns glinting in the moonlight. As you look up and see blood-red rose petals cracked and torn as if from a vicious battle, the sight fills you with dread. Toxic fumes emanate from the center of the rose. Your last thoughts are fearful before the awful vapors cause you to black out. And what this flower card will do is that rose will now attack a nymph on their path and go directly to the nymph no matter how far away it is and then attack. But that's not the case here because there is no nymph. So instead we will look down here and the rose will now move in the direction of where it is located. It is here in the right column and it is an arrow that counts counterclockwise. So it will move counterclockwise to the next path to the last space. That's fine for us. We're not there. But any of these flowers could also get to our path. And then we would have 3 flowers to deal with, which is actually pretty bad. All right. It's now my turn again. I will spend this card right here, the Zoom card. That lets me move 1 flower 2. I will move the orchid away a little bit. And I can move 3. I will definitely do that. And I will move on that critter path, on that critter spot right here. And that means now I spend 5 magic tokens. I said 4 before, I don't know why. So 5 magic tokens, put them back from the active to the inactive pool here. And then I will draw a critter card. And that one says, Risky Liberation. As you move towards the critter, it starts to howl and shriek. It is clearly petrified. As soon as you back away, it calms down. Saving this critter could be tricky. You will have to get close to it, and this much noise, it will definitely carry far into the garden. Will you risk it to help this poor critter? If the rescuer makes noise by saving this critter, all flowers on their path will be uprooted. That means if I take that critter, I make noise, so to speak, thematically, and all the flowers will be uprooted, move towards me and attack. And if they are on my space or if they brush past me, they will do 1 damage. And then they will do it again, because then the night phase will come. But I will still do it. So if you save a critter, you put it on the right here, on the right column on your player board, and then you can use it. I will show you a little bit later how that works. Okay, so and now they will be uprooted and move towards me. Let's start with the clematis as usual. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I receive 1 damage, and now the orchid as well. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now we have the night phase almost. I can still draw a card. And I will, this one makes me receive a lot of some damage, but I can move really far. I need to get moving. So you know what? Let me take this one here. Okay. Yeah, that's better than if I had drawn this one here. Yeah, it's okay. And now night phase, right? The flowers move again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's another damage. And then the orchid moves 1. Okay, it's close, but it has not reached me yet, which is amazing. Then we draw a night card. Meteor to the rescue. As you look to the night sky, a shooting star passes by. If your entire party wishes on the same falling star at the same time, you will all be able to increase your abilities for a short time. Is it worth using up the magic you will need to make contact with your party? Spend 2 magic per player to have 2 actions per player in the following round. That is not too bad actually, right? I could spend 2 magic. I still have enough. I still have 4 to heal. I could spend 2 magic and do 2 actions. That means I could move up to 6. Oh, that would be really good, actually. You know what? I would do that. I would do that. I would spend these 2 magic. That's pretty good. That's a nice one. I like that one. All right. And now it's my turn again. Did I miss anything? I don't think so. One word on the critters. So what I can do is I can now send a critter to any player, or I can also send it to myself. Sending does not mean I move the token. Sending is just thematically, right? The critter will just go to any companion or to myself, and then it will do something. Either I can send it for magic. That means I roll the 4-sided die and gain that much magic, which is really good. I can also send it with a runestone card. That means I can give a runestone to another player. If I do it with myself, I can just draw a card, right? Which is pretty good. That means that I lose health, like as much health as I want to, and whoever is receiving that gains that much health. In a solo game, that would work, of course, so you just roll the 4-sided die. And that is not too bad. I could actually do that, right? You know what? Let me do that. Because that is just a side action, right? So I will now use that companion once and try to get a bit of magic. 1 magic. Okay, that's not a whole lot, but okay. And then I will do my regular movement. I will do this one here. This one lets me move 1 flower 3 back. So you move back there. Thank you. And I can move 2. That is a spot with 2 health, but I receive 3 because of my passive ability. So there we go. I'm back up to full health, which is really good. And now I have a second action, right? Because I spent that 2 energy, and I will do this one here. That one makes me receive 2 damage, but I can move 4. And there's another critter here, but I don't think I want to save it. I don't think so. Instead, I will use my ability, my active ability, and that one is restore. That means I just take the token and move it away. And now I receive 2 health. I can only do that once a round. That's why we have that token. And now I got full health. And I'm almost out of the garden. So I think we can make it. Now I need a card that moves me 4. Right? So let's see. This one moves me 1. These move me 2. Let's take another one. This moves me 1 as well. Okay. I will still need a little bit longer to actually get out of the garden. But that's the way it is. Now the flowers are uprooted as usual, so let's just roll the die for that one first. 1, 2, 3. And move the die for this one. 1. Okay, I'm fine. All good. But we are getting low on cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 more rounds. So you see, this was like a very lucky turn because I could move twice, right? But like, it's not that much because I still need 2 rounds at least to move out of the garden. Maybe even 3 rounds. Without that free action, it would have been close here. Bring me a dream. You are attacked and then healed, then stung by another plant and then healed, bitten by a critter and then healed. You wake to realize your dreams have been manic. What is the Sandman playing at? Or is he helping you by filling your head with prophecy? You find all health and damage runestones are missing from your inventory. So we need to discard all of these runestones. So this one, for example. Do I draw new ones? From each player's hand and from the rockery. Oh, from the rockery as well. So I also need to remove this one here. And this one. Okay. Then redraw to replace the discarded cards. Okay. So, oh, this one lets us move 3. That's actually really good. And here as well. Alright, that was an interesting night card. Actually pretty good. Our turn again. What I will do is very easy. I will use this rootstone card here. I will move this flower back 2 and can move myself 3. This one says I receive 2 damage. I will take that damage, but then I will also use my ability here in order to just use 2 magic in order to heal myself back up to 10. That is fine. I don't need the critter this round. I will just draw a card. It doesn't matter what I draw because I'm almost out of the garden, right? So let me just, I don't know. Let me draw, I don't know, this one here because it's really crazy. All right. This one would give me 5 magic, but I would have to move 1 back. I would of course not do that, but I could. All right. So this one will move 1, and this one will also move 1. I'm totally in the clear. These just need way too long to get to me. Another night card. Oops. Friends in deadly places. You meet a friendly stranger and camp with him for the night. After exchanging stories for a while, the stranger is impressed by your courage and offers to cast a substitution spell that is well beyond your own power in its current weakened state. The spell will allow you to substitute runestones in your inventory for others nearby, which could aid you in your quest for freedom. One player may swap their hand of cards with the cards currently in the rockery, which I will not do. Actually, I want to do that. I will actually do that. Because I can only move one. Oh, no, I only need to move one, so that's fine. No, I will not do that. That's good. Alright, now it's my turn again, and very easy. I play one card, so I will just play this card here, for example, right? Which gives me 2 magic tokens and also lets me move 1 forward. And now I just move off the board. The video is not cut off here. This is actually the end of the board, right? So I just move off the garden and I win, right? So this was actually a simpler game. I actually got through it very, very well, although only 3 more turns and I would have lost. So it was not as close because I was like kind of lucky with like a few night cards here. They can be much worse if I'm unlucky, right? Here, for example, the next card would have been this card. This flower here would have moved onto the path, right? And would have attacked me. So had this come at the very beginning of the game, it would have been much, much harder. And of course, if I'm not the only player, if I'm off the board, then the other players will still continue to play because everybody needs to move off the board. And this is where something really cool comes in. When I move off the board and the other nymphs, if I play a multiplayer game, are still in their part of the garden, I can still play when it's my turn. I can play a runestone card, but it applies to another player then, right? So I can actually aid them from afar. Really cool mechanism. All right, and that's how you play Malus Hortus by Atikin Games. But how do I like it? Well, let me tell you after I've had another sip of tea. All right, there we go. So let's start with the artwork. The artwork has been done with a lot of love. You can definitely see that. Unfortunately, I'm unable to show you the final components as I've already said, this is a handmade and assembled preview copy. The theme is very unique. It's about 4 nymphs stuck in a garden trying to escape the malevolent flowers chasing them. Malus Hortus is Latin and means bad garden, and that definitely fits the theme. I also really enjoyed all the story beats on the cards. It really helps the theme and immersion a lot. In terms of gameplay, I was pleasantly surprised by this game. Let me tell you why. Let's start with the setup. It's incredibly quick. Even without an insert or the token boxes that are often used, the game can be set up within a few minutes. I really appreciate when games let me save setup time that can be better spent actually playing the game. At first glance, the game looked like a simple roll and move, but it definitely is not. First of all, it's a card-driven game, as you could see, where you navigate by playing cards and using their effects. This is a very interesting aspect since you always have to resolve the cards fully. Apart from the necessary movement at the bottom to escape the Malus Hortus, there are always effects at the top that are often positive, but sometimes they're actually negative, although they might still move you onto a tile you really need to reach. Pair that with asymmetric abilities, the helpful critters, and night cards that you don't know what they will bring, and you have a pretty unique and interesting gameplay package here. 2 aspects I liked a lot. First off, the game is quite simple. I would actually classify it as a family weight game, which is great in today's market full of rather complex and long games. Second, despite its simplicity, the game is challenging to win. The goal is simple: move out of the garden quickly enough. But the night cards and flowers really make this a game of damage mitigation. Moving fast might not always be the right choice. Do you heal now, or rather push back the flowers? You know they can move up to 6 spaces per round, but you won't know how many exactly until you roll the die. And even if they land on your space, they might do little damage, or they might defeat you. It's a really cool mechanism of pushing your luck a bit and mitigating negative effects while trying to move as fast as possible and being efficient at it as well. Quite fun. All in all, I seriously had a lot of fun playing Malus Hortus. You can see that a lot of love went into this game. It's quick to set up, offers simple yet challenging gameplay, and manages to deliver a unique theme combined with clever card-driven mechanisms. It's a charming, accessible, and fun experience that stands out in today's crowded market of heavy games. And if you liked what you saw today, you still have a few days left to back the Kickstarter campaign. You'll find the link in this video's description as usual. Congratulations, you made it to the end of my preview for Malus Hortus. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for sticking to the very end. As usual, I want to thank all of you for your support, especially want to give a shout out to my generous patrons. The biggest thanks go out to Thecos for supporting me at the highest tier. Thank you so much, I really appreciate that. You can support me as well by watching, liking and commenting on my videos, subscribing to my channel, supporting me on Patreon, and joining my Discord server to hang out with me and my amazing community. Alright, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the very next video. Take care everyone, stay safe, and cheers!